What's good, everybody? My name is Lawrence and this is my channel, Larry Chats. Every Monday I give social and political commentary, so if that's something you're into, make sure you hit that subscribe button to see every new video that I drop. Now this episode is a bit different from what I usually do because today I'll be sharing my story of how I was diagnosed with ASD1, more commonly known as high-functioning autism. I wanted to make this video because I wanted people to know what autism was like, at least on a more personal basis. I think to a certain degree, autism is something we really don't understand. I also don't want people to just dive into a world of self-diagnosis, and if you think you have high-functioning autism as well, please see a medical professional. Don't just go on WebMD. I remember one time I went on WebMD for my stomach hurting and it told me I had testicular cancer. So it's obviously not the best source of information. Hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to know a little bit more about autism and a little bit more about me in the process. So I guess with no further ado, let's dive right in. So my entire life, I always knew something was a little different. Like I knew there was always like, there's something going on. Like, you know, obviously I'm not the same as everybody. I can remember walking to school in elementary with my friends and they would ask me, Lawrence, why are you counting your steps? Being a kid, you know, you don't know that everybody's not doing that. And I'm like, oh, what number you on? So I knew something was up. Another big time that I remember knowing that I was different from everybody else, my sister went into my room for some reason and moved something that I had on my desk. And in my room, everything was like meticulously clean all the time. Everything has a place, every place has a thing. Everything is perfect. And I remember she like picked up a book or something off my desk and then put it down in a way that I didn't put it, like it was incorrect. I remember as a kid being so mad, not that she went in my room, but that she moved something and didn't put it back in its correct place. That something was out of order was kind of the focus rather than her actually being in my room. Another aspect of my life that I knew was definitely different from everybody else was the area of hyperfocus. As a kid, I remember being interested in dinosaurs when I was about 9 years old. And there was a dinosaur book that my mom had bought me, but the same night she bought me the book, I remember staying up all night, at least 6 hours, reading the book, just thinking about dinosaurs and just imagining the world. But I just spent all night focusing on these dinosaurs, learning different facts about them, reading through the entire book numerous times. And I knew that was something that maybe everybody doesn't do this. Maybe everybody doesn't have this area of hyperfocus. It wasn't uncommon for me to read straight through my books in high school the first week that I got them, if I was hyper-focused on that subject. But I knew it was different because I really didn't feel like I had a choice. I also learned from my mom until I was about 2 years old. I didn't even speak. Like I never said a single word. I was just content. Like I was just cool. She took me to the doctors a few times. She got me checked out. The doctor's just like, I mean, he's he's fine. He's just not talking. Like there's nothing wrong with his throat or nothing. And one day, until I was about 2.5 years old, I just randomly said a sentence to my sister in the kitchen, and my mom was there. And she was so surprised that I was talking. There's always been something that I knew was different about me. So autism is a neurological disorder that is a broad range of characterized conditions. It's essentially a disorder that inhibits our social understanding. Socially, we're kind of 2 cents short of $1, if you know what I mean. And I understand this because growing up, I had to learn not to say things that I was thinking. Growing up, I never actually understood that it was polite not to tell people that you don't like what they have on. Or small things like you don't want to be around them or you don't want to hang out with them. So in knowing myself and knowing I've had all these experiences where I thought I was different to some degree, I started looking it up because, I mean, what do these characteristics really mean? And as soon as I started reading what makes someone autistic, I was like, ain't no way. This is me. Like, this is crazy. So through my insurance, I was able to talk to the doctor on Autism Speaks. And after the conversation, he referred me to a neurologist. And this neurologist conducted an actual autism exam on Zoom. The exam that he gave me was kind of like, it was really just an interview. They were kind of asking me what would I do in these certain situations? How do I feel about certain phenomena? How do I feel when things don't go my way? What do I usually do to cope? Like, you know, just really different things regarding autism and regarding what the social cues for autism were. I do remember very vaguely, he had me tell a story. and he gave me a match, like a little, from a box of matches. He gave me a match and a boot and a light, like a flashlight, and he was like, all right, make a story using all of these items, like all of these things. And I made up a story. I thought the whole time, I was like, this is stupid. Why am I on Zoom doing this? I feel stupid. And he was gone for about 20 minutes. He put me in a waiting room in the Zoom. And when he came back, he told me I can with almost certainty tell you that you have high functioning autism or ASD1 with obsessive compulsive behaviors. And I was like, first of all, relax, because how you just line that up. But no, honestly, I guess it was a sense of relief. I guess it was the ease of giving an answer to a question that I've always had. And to know that people were also going through this and I wasn't the only one. But it also brought into question, like, damn, what if I would have knew this from when I was 8 years old? Like how much different? And it also gives me the understanding of when I have kids, what I might have to deal with and what I might have to help them with as they grow up. And as the doctor begins to tell me the spectrum of like what autism is and how the different levels work and what high functioning is versus low functioning. And he also had tools like referring me to like a community of people via Facebook groups, via locations that like they meet up and hang out. He also told me that 1 in 44 Americans fall on the spectrum of ASD1, and people just don't know it, as most adults don't get diagnosed when they're actually adults. And then there's even people that we know as celebrities that are ASD1 and high functioning autistic, like Elon Musk and Jerry Seinfeld. I think he said Einstein was also, and to a certain degree, I felt like he was trying to make me feel better, which I don't feel bad at all. I have no problem learning more about myself, even if those things are neurological disorders. And I would assume everybody would want the same thing. But obviously I wouldn't be able to know what everybody else feels. But that's my story. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you watching the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the like button on your way out.